Hi, my name is Anna. I'm here talking to you today because I want to tell you about something that's close to my heart. That certain something is bullet journaling. Since it's still January, I think now is the best time to talk about organization for the new year. This is my bullet journal. It's where most of my organization and time management take place. I started using this notebook in 2019 and have used it over the years. I am currently almost done with it. There's a crack in my glass of water. I'm so sorry about that, but I have more water now in a glass that hopefully will not break right in front of me. This is my bullet journal. It's where most of my organization and time management take place. I started using this notebook in 2019 and have used it over the years. I am currently almost done with it, but I'm still continuing to use it this year. To really show you what it's all about, I would like to use some B-roll clips and photos of my own journal. Bullet journal is a very visual activity, so I find it necessary to give you examples of what it can look like. But let me start by explaining what it actually is. Bullet journaling is a form of time management, but it mostly focuses on organizing your life. Typical planners and calendars are usually practical, simple, and minimalistic, and their goal is to help you save time by managing it better. When it comes to bullet journal, it might do the opposite and take more of your time, which is why it's not for everyone and maybe misunderstood. To me, bullet journaling is more about organizing your life, your thoughts, your space. It covers all the bases: your personal life, work, relationships, hobbies, your goals, and anything else you might need help with. It helps you organize and keep track of all these categories through many different types of yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily layouts, including my favorite type, the tracker. Let me show you examples. A typical bullet journal will start out with a year at a glance layout like this one, and a future log where you can see every month with important events that you can expect that year. It can be birthdays, anniversaries, and any particular dates that you don't want to forget. I won't be able to show you mine because of the amount of private information in it, but here are the examples of what I was able to find online. It's definitely my favorite part about creating a journal. I've made a few videos in the past showing different ideas for trackers, and I would like to show you a few of them as examples. The things in your life that you can track are endless. It can be your mood, which is usually tracked by coloring parts of a drawing every day, where different colors represent different moods. This can be done using so many different themes. People often get inspired by the season, or they choose a color palette for a specific month. Other things you can track are the amount of water you drink, books to read, places to visit, and my favorite out of all of them, a sleep tracker. It's something that has truly changed my life after just a few months of doing it. The goal is to log your hours of sleep every single day, including when you went to bed, when you woke up, and how you felt that day energy-wise. I was tracking my energy levels by drawing a little flower, and the amount of petals on it represents how well I felt that day. It's what has helped me slowly transition to waking up earlier, and at one point I was waking up at 5 a.m. and still feeling well rested. I definitely recommend this to people who have trouble waking up and always feel tired. This method can help you notice patterns in your sleep and any issues related to it, and it allows you to fix them. If you don't want to create a whole journal, just do this. I made a printable version of this tracker. It looks like this, and I'll make sure to put it in the description of this video. Different ideas for pages can be found online. There's a big bullet journal community that shares its own layouts and trackers, and it's very easy to get inspired and want to try it for yourself when you see all these aesthetically pleasing pages. I can recommend checking out Pinterest when you're looking for inspiration, and I can guarantee you won't be disappointed. I want to mention the creative side of making a journal. When looking at different photos of bullet journals, you'll be quick to notice they're usually very artistic. I think this is the most characteristic feature of bullet journaling. People who are more practical are more likely to choose a calendar, usually one on their phone. But there are many people out there who feel the most inspired using a pen and paper and need that artistic outlet. And that's why they're so drawn to bullet journaling. I'm a person who shares a lot about bullet journaling online, and I always get comments saying things such as how it's a waste of time, not practical, and pretty much useless, and that I'll regret spending so much time on creating a pretty notebook when I look back at it in a few years. I find it interesting how people are so quick to judge the way we spend our free time. To me, this is a hobby. It's my special interest that I'm currently hyperfixated on, and I've never regretted any of my hyperfixations. It's a way to enjoy free time and benefit from it at the same time. If I manage to catch your attention and you're considering trying out bullet journaling for yourself, let me share some tips and tricks on how to start. When it comes to the tools you'll need, I want to show you some of my must-haves. They consist of different kinds of pens, markers, and brush pens, which is a pen with a brush tip used for calligraphy. I also use a notebook from Dingbats, but the most important thing about choosing the right notebook is getting one that has a dot grid. It's not a necessity, but it's what will help you achieve that professional bullet journal look. You might look at all this and feel a bit overwhelmed or discouraged from trying it for yourself, but I have good news. All you actually need is a pen and any notebook or a piece of paper. Of course, stationery is fun and allows you to play with different tools to achieve your artistic vision, but using just a pen can make it even more interesting. I decided to test out this theory 2 years ago when I used a single black pen to do all my pages starting out the new year. My goal was to prove that all you really need is a want to try to do this, and everything else comes second. I want to show you the process of making these pages. The first one is for writing out books to read for that specific year. So this page will represent my own bookcase and the books on it that are waiting to be read. I'm still able to achieve quite a few different fonts using just a pen or a fine liner. Brush pens would make it easier, but this still does the job. I don't even use anything to make my lines straight. I enjoy this natural feel that hand-drawn wonky lines give. Because of this, the books won't be perfectly symmetrical, and I don't even mind that. I just keep filling the page with more shapes until I'm happy with it. Making a page like this can help you read more books, or maybe you can set a goal for yourself for that month or that year and color a shape every time you read one. And that's something that will help you visualize your progress. It's a pretty fun page to make, and you can really get creative with different decor pieces you decide to add. In my case, it's a photo frame, a plant, and a candle. And this is the finished page. I now get rid of the pencil lines and I can move on to the second page, which will be places to visit. I make a very simple title, and the shapes below it are supposed to look like Polaroid pictures. Again, the lines can be a little wonky, and that's completely okay. When I was preparing to make this page, I made a list of cities that I would like to visit that year, or in general in the future, and I looked up what buildings these places are known for. And this is how this page looks currently. Other pages I made are a page starting out the new month, and of course a sleep tracker, and then a weekly layout, which is the place to plan out my days, and looks like this. To me, the most fun part about making a bullet journal is thinking of new pages and themes for it, but if you're just starting out, you can easily base your layouts on ones you've seen online and add your own touches as you go. Thank you for allowing me to tell you more about this topic that's so dear to my heart. I'll link other videos I made about this topic in the description of this video, as well as the printable sleep tracker if you're interested in it. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to message me. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time. Bye!